rest of Kenya to put on me as deputy president is to ask me after 1 year, on behalf of President Ruto, can you tell us what his administration has done on roads, energy, water, electricity, all these things, isn't it? Where the president can join us, fine. But as his principal assistant, that's the way I understand my work. My work is to support him so that his administration fulfills its commitments to the people of Kenya. So kuna watu naona saa ingine wanani advice, wananiambia sijui ufanye hivi, sijui ukai kama unapingana na rais. And I'm wondering, is the work of the deputy president to oppose the president? No. Is that the job description? No. Wale wanataka kuoppose rais, watoke nje, wajoin Kalonzo, Wajakoya na hiyo timu nyingine, waanze kuoppose wakiwa huko nje. There is no problem. But you cannot be a deputy president and sabotaging the same government, or a minister flying a flag and then you are sabotaging the same administration. Not possible. So tafuta na hao wengine, hiyo group ingine, mtupige mkiwa nje, we are ready for you. Na tutawajibu sana saa hii, tutakutana huko mbele. Because all these characters, hakuna mtu hajakuwa kiongozi. Si Kalonzo Musyoka alikuwa vice president? Si ni kama mimi? Yeye alikuwa 5 years under Kibaki. So akifika pale Tharaka Nithi, the people will ask him, when you were vice president, can you give us one project hapa ile ulitusukumia? Because that is the question I expect to be asked by the people of Kitui when President Ruto and myself go to look for votes in Kitui. Yeah, so that's my understanding of my job. I have to support the president. I have to fight for him. I have to assist him and supplement him because he can't be everywhere. Na hii kazi kama hii routine work like this, that is the work of the principal assistant of the president, so that we retain the work of the president to be general vision carrying, the carrying of the national vision and performing high-level presidential events. For example, some of the things we want to unlock in our county. When the roads are unlocked and they are complete, now he comes as president to commission complete projects. Lakini saa hii kwa sababu zimekwama, ni kazi yangu kukwamua. Si namna hiyo? Nitafute mawaziri, nitafute ma-PS, nitafute everybody. Ikikuamuliwa ijengwe, rais anakuja. But it can't be the president coming there to try and unlock projects. Yet he has a cabinet, he has a deputy. That is my understanding of my responsibility. Wale wengine wananiambia sijui pinga rais kama fulani, I think they are addressing the wrong person. Yeah, maybe they are talking to somebody else. Sio mimi. So we intend to be very focused and very deliberate, and we mean business. And I want to assure you, the people of Tharaka Nithi, as I've assured other parts of the country, you will get maximum benefits from this administration. Otherwise, what business do I have to hang around if we will not get maximum benefits? So we'll do our best. Lakini musiende kudanganywa ati ndio sijui hii county isaidiwe, ati the next county must lose. We cannot win, isn't it? We cannot get what we want. So who said for one county to gain, another one must lose? It's not true. Yeah. Because we have a country to keep. And therefore, mimi naomba tu munitoe kwa hii siasa ya sijui ya MP, ya MCA, ya governor, ya senator. I will leave that. Munisaidie. Kwa sababu mkiniingiza hapo, whether you are defending me or attacking me, unless you really are sabotaging me, you should not drag me in those politics ya nyumbani. Unless your aim is to sabotage me. Kama hiyo ndio aim ni sawa, nitaelewa. So sasa nikianza hapo, ati sijui this ward versus the other ward, this constituency versus, we will lose it. And I saw how my predecessor lost favor, even from leaders from his own village. You know? Even your own MP, akutaki. I cannot wait for that to happen. If Kina Kareke here and Kina Njuki, Kina Murugara think I am doing nothing, what business do I have to go to Nyanza and other places? Sini wachane nayo. Yeah, if my own brothers, my own neighbors don't think of any value. So musiningise kwa hiyo mambo ya nyumbani. Pia niseme ya kwamba I mean business. Because you are all my people, you are all my brothers and sisters. I cannot come here and start supporting this one against the other. All of you are running for MP. Of course, all of you will not get the seat. The seat will go with one person. Sindio? So the pressure you should put on me, na sio kwa magazeti, sio kwa mitandao, look for ways. Look for ways. Si muko hapa leo? I have not called you. Nilikupigia simu? Si uko hapa? So there are ways of getting me, if you want. So, hii mambo ya sijui sikuwa simu, sijui nini, tuache hiyo. Kwa sababu saa hii sina hata simu where I am. And many people are calling. And from here I'll go to the next event. But you'll find me, and the pressure I want from you is pressure. How do we push our road network? How do we push our electricity? How do we push our water? How do we push our, county aggregation and industrial park, which has not started, and we need to unlock that as well. That is the pressure I want from you, because if we push the development agenda, the government will look good, our people will also benefit. Si namna hiyo? Lakini msiende kuniambia kwa ati unachukua TikTok, unaenda kusema, sijui tunaambia naibu wa rais, sijui nini. Sasa, so unless you're part of my opponents, if you are part of my opponents, it's okay. There is no problem. Tutakuja sasa kupiga campaign, nikijua you are on the other side. Yeah. Alafu wengine, you have a problem with the next person. Uko na problem na MCA, uko na problem na governor, senator. You take advantage ya hiyo shida uko nayo, then you drag me there. I'm defending the DP. I don't need defense. I don't need defense. If the people of Tharaka-Nithi think I had no value to their equation of development, I have no business to come there ati mimi ndio hapo Chuka, Marimanti, Chogoria, ati kubembeleza watu. Please, let me look for defense. Huko mbali, nyumbani we will find a way. Sindio? So you take advantage because you are fighting with the next person. Anza kusema mimi na defend naibu wa rais. My friend, this thing is so huge. That person you are attacking, we need every energy aligned in the same direction. Yeah. Wewe unajigamba you are defending the deputy president. If this work is left to you alone, you will not take it anywhere. Kazi ya kusongesha Kenya mbele. Ndio unaona watu wengi wamejaribu, imeshindikana. Kalonzo amejaribu miaka 50, imeshindikana. Sasa amezama. Sank. Hata ule rafiki yetu mzee mwingine, he was in town. Na hakuwa mtu ya mchezo. Lakini sasa tunashukuru Mungu amesikizana na rais, anaenda kuwa kiongozi wa Afrika. Yeah. Hii kitu sio rahisi ya Kenya. Kama unashindwa na hiyo yako kidogo hapo ya MCA, alafu unataka kudrag ya Kenya kuipeleka hapo juu. So sikiza. Sikiza. Pale nyumbani, I need your blessings and your support, all of you. Not some of you. Because some of you hatutafika anywhere. I need everybody, including the person you have a problem with. I need that person. Yes. Tumesikizana? Yeah. So this is home talk, in the family talk, don't worry. Let me go back to the default system, which is the national discussion we are having. So we have an agenda. This is the government, and I've been I played some role in the Kibaki administration, in the Uhuru administration, in different capacities, and now in the Ruto administration. As far as I'm aware, the first government to do a manifesto was the Kibaki government. But it was never followed up for implementation. Tulichaguliwa, Kibaki akachaguliwa, wale walichaguliwa, there was no implementation. Luckily, Kibaki had a very strong focus on the priorities he had committed to the people. So he succeeded, but there was no monitoring and evaluation, and there was no tracking of progress. And when Kibaki was asking to be re-elected in 2007, nobody asked him, have you delivered what you told us? It was just simple politics. Yeah, Kibaki was a raila. And 41 against 1. Very dangerous politics. Uhuru came with a manifesto. But we never followed the implementation of that manifesto. And when Uhuru was asking for re-election in 2017, nobody asked him what he had done with the first term. In fact, he came with a new manifesto for the second term. Ile aliita Big Four. Si ni kweli? Yeah. But this time round, this government is going to add value to our governance in two respects. One, we are tracking the 168 commitments that we made to the people of Kenya in 10 sectors, 10 areas, one by one, to see how far and how many of them we can implement before the next election. Ndio hiyo manifesto isiwe ni karatasi. And I'm going to demonstrate to you just now how we are doing that. Number two, I suspect the next election, more than any other election, this government will be asked, you promised us this, tell us what you've done. Si ni kweli? Yeah. So Kenya is maturing. That is good democracy, because if a president does not get re-elected because they have not performed, that is a very good democratic culture. But you cannot remove a president because of stupid politics ya ukabila, sijui ya nini, mambo ya bure hapo, you know. So, good people, mimi nataka niwaambie, we will do our best. The last 2 years, President Ruto has struggled with very difficult issues, just like President Kibaki when he took over from President Moi. President Kibaki's first term was terrible. It was difficult. He himself was unwell. And some characters around him were the ones running government and making decisions, making very unpopular pronouncements. But Kibaki was very committed. In 2 years, President Kibaki became the most hated and the most unpopular person in Kenya. In 2005, 2 years after his election, the first time, 3 years, he brought a referendum. He was defeated in that referendum. You remember Banana Orange? He was defeated. He dissolved the entire cabinet. He was left with the old man, is a Moody Award or something. Yeah. So what is happening around here is something that has happened before. And why President Kibaki and President Ruto? Ask yourself why. It is because any transformative leader who has an idea of what to do about key sectors that define a country's transformation, many times the decisions that leader has to make to transform the country are usually unpopular. They are not popular. Populist leaders make popular decisions. Okay? I'll give you an example. This universal health care that we are focused on implementing is not the invention of Kenya Kwanza. Professor Kithaka and the others, the scholars, will tell you, President Kibaki intended to bring universal health coverage when Charity Ngilu was minister. Aka-introduce the topic, siasa kama hii ikakuja, Kibaki retreated. Ikakufa. President Uhuru had universal health care in his manifesto. I'm part of the team that wrote that manifesto, the first term. Akaona it's very unpopular because you have to increase the levies that you're charging people and so forth. Akaikalia first term. He thought he can introduce it in second term when he's going home because he will not be looking for re-election. So in 2018, Aka announced the big 4 agenda. One of them was universal health coverage. Cecily Kariuki was the minister for health. Siasa ikakuja, Uhuru backtracked. I remember Uhuru asking us, sisi tuko na insurance? Kama watu wamekataa health insurance, sisi tuko na insurance? Alafu akauliza deputy yake that time. I just overheard, nilikuwa area tu, nilikuwa hapo, sikuwa karibu. Nikasikia akauliza deputy yake, "Hey William, si mimi na wewe tuko na nyumba? Hii housing program." Kwa sababu housing ilikuwa kwa big 4 ya Uhuru pia, isn't it? Si wewe uko na nyumba na mimi niko na nyumba. Hii manyumba ni ya nini? Tuwache. Wakawacha. Brothers and sisters, I'll shortly tell you what housing and what a health insurance for every Kenyan means to the economy and to household incomes in a short while. But before I do that, I want to say for the last 2 years, President Ruto has struggled with what we call macroeconomic stability. Macroeconomic stability means, for those who are not experts like myself, I'm not also an expert in the economy, but I have learned from the experts. Macroeconomic stability are the fundamental foundational economic growth indicators that must be in place before you start now building the growth of the economy. One indicator is the strength of the currency. The strength of your currency versus international currencies is one indicator. Another one is something called interest rates. The rate at which people borrow money, those who are doing biashara, nini, interest rates. And are businesses having access to affordable credit at moderate interest rates? The third indicator is called inflation. How fast do the price of goods keep on rising? The fourth indicator is called the price of fuel, because fuel, it defines so many things. It defines the cost of power, it defines the cost of transport, it defines the cost of production, industrialization, and what have you. So the price of fuel, interest rates, inflation, strength of the currency, and of course the country's liquidity, its ability to manage its liquidity. The debt situation, is the debt sustainable? Those are 5 macroeconomic indicators. By the time President Ruto took power, took the leadership of the country, Kenya was on the verge of insolvency. Many people think, watu wengi wanafikiria wakati tunasema nchi ilikuwa mahali pabaya, wanafikiria tunajaribu kupiga Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. The country was not in that shape because of President Uhuru. It was because of global situation. The main one being the total shutdown of the economy for nearly 1.5 years because of COVID-19. Nobody in Kenya left their home. for more than a year. Curfew, you can't go anywhere, there is no business running. So you can imagine shutting down the economy even for a day is costly. Ask me, I am the immediate Minister for Interior. When riots used to happen and the economy of Nairobi is shut for one day, the economic cost is so huge, is in billions. So you can imagine the entire country shutting down for a year and a half. That is what caused all the problems we found when we took over. The dollar was very strong against the shilling. President Ruto in the last 2 years has worked on the interventions and policy decisions that have made the dollar stable. It was at 165, 167. For more than a year now, it's operating between 127 and 130. And there's every likelihood it will go down. People will ask you, sasa, mimi mutu ya nyombu metengero kana atonga, ya? Kana mumete chera, mambo ya dollar. How am I affected by the dollar? I will show you how you are affected by the dollar if you are from Shera or Gatonga or Ngeru or anywhere else in the county. Hizo vitu watu yetu wanaenda kununua madukani hapo Marimandi, hapo Chogoria, hapo Kavana. Most of those items are imported from abroad because our manufacturing capacity is very, very small. All the household items, many of them are imported. They are imported in bulk from China, from other countries. The person importing them pays for those items using, they have to convert Kenya shillings into dollars. So if the shilling is weak, you need more shillings per dollar. And you use more money per container to bring one container. And when you go to sell in Chogoria, the price, if the shilling is weak, the price will be higher to the customer buying those things in the shops in Chogoria. If the shilling is strong, like it is now, you use less shillings to get $1. You will therefore use less money to bring one container of the merchandise. The value, the price of that item in the rural areas will be a bit moderate. That is the connection between a strong dollar and the person in Kondi and the person in Mutembei. So our shilling now is strong. It will become even stronger. Inflation was at 9.6%. Now it is oscillating between 2.7 and 3%. Interest rates, the central bank lending rates was, a year ago, was 15.8%. Today, it is 11.25%. It is going to drop the next time central bank meets in the monthly policy review meeting. Meaning, again, people will ask, what is the connection between interest rates and an ordinary person doing some juakali business in Chuka town, okay, in Chakariga, or even in Magutuni? Interest rates. This is it. That when interest rates are high, as they have been, banks don't lend businesses any money. They lend government because government is broke. The interest is very high, so they buy what we call government paper. They give government money to run the country. So businesses don't tax. If you try getting a loan, if you have a small business, Apple, the interest rate is so high to discourage you because there is already a market of 16, 17%, 15%, they can give credit to government. If the government rate, the central bank rating rate, now which is low, banks will be forced to give affordable credit to as many businesses as possible, including small businesses in our rural places. That is what happened in the Kibaki time. That's why many businesses grew in Kibaki time, because banks were literally hawking loans. Bank hawk loans in the working places, forcing people, literally begging people to take loans. But because of high interest rates, banks stopped dealing with poor small businesses, and because they are lending government. So there's a connection. For 2 years, President Ruto has struggled with macroeconomic stability, interest rates, the strength of the shilling, inflation, and also the price of fuel, which was at 217, now it's about 160 something. And it will come down, it will continue coming down. What President Ruto has done in 2 years, it took Kibaki 5 years. Because the first time, Kibaki was so unpopular because he was trying to reverse the Moi economy, the macroeconomic indicators for the Moi economy. Remember, growth, economic growth, by the time Moi was leaving, was negative 0.1%. By the time 2007, end of first term of Kibaki, growth was 7.1%. But you see, people don't eat growth. They don't, so they were asking, yeah, Kibaki, you're telling us GDP and growth and interest rate, but we can't see anything. The same questions the people of Kenya are asking today. But the macroeconomic environment must be built first. There is no economics. You cannot deal with the microeconomic issues unless you tackle interest rates, strength of the currency, da 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 da. It took Kibaki 5 years. It has taken William Ruto 2 years. And in these 2 years, 1 year, he had a very, very, very disruptive opposition from outside. The second year, he had a terrible opposition from inside his government. Yet, he has brought the kind of impact that I have told you at the macro level. Now, what remains now the next 2 years is to work on what is music to our ears. Household incomes, job creation, microeconomic transformation of real sectors where our people derive their livelihood from. The Pesa Mfukoni agenda. The problem is that we said we will do ABCD and bring Pesa Mfukoni in 5 years, because that is the constitutional term. But on day one, you have a dishonest internal opposition inciting the public why a 5-year program should have been done in a year. And we are talking about a country recovering and a world recovering from a terrible post-COVID economy. It's not possible. And you know that lie has sold, because lying is cheap and lying is popular. And lying doesn't require any sophistication. You don't have to be a leader to lie. Anybody can incite the public. True or false? People don't hear things like wait or we are doing. They don't want. They want now. Where is the money in the pocket? So what some cheap leaders do, first, they take advantage of the way human beings are wired to complain. You know, human beings are wired to complain, and we always want instant. That's how we are created. Hata watoto wanasema nataka mkate saa hii. Mtoto anasema I want bread now. Ukimwambia I have to send the house help to the kiosk, anasema now, mommy, now. I'm hungry now. So that's how human beings are wired. That's why the Israelites gave Moses a hard time in the desert. Because they are being told there is a land of milk and honey, but they can't see it. They can only see the desert. They are seeing the environment around them there. So what incomplete leaders do, they take advantage of those sentiments and they start now spinning, you see. Nothing is happening. There is no nothing. Muliahidiwa. which is okay for somebody outside government. But we cannot do it ourselves. This team is the one that created this government. True or false? Tharaka Nithi vote for this government was one of the highest in Kenya, percentage-wise. Isn't it? So this is our government. This is our government, my friend. The people who never voted for this government are very few. Alafu, because of these challenges I've explained, mtu anakuja anawambia pana, tutoke kwa hii serikali, tuachane nayo, mwaka imeisha, mwaka mbili imeisha. But 5 years are not all over. Yeah? 5 years are not over. Even building a house, you have to dig downwards first before you start building upwards, isn't it? Ukitaka kuweka nyumba ya makaratasi, you don't need to dig down. You just put papers on top. But when the wind comes, it will just be blown off. So, leaders who are incomplete, they take advantage of those sentiments to incite the public. And the public loves incitement. It's the easiest job. Anybody can incite the public. Even the most, sitaki kusema kitu hapo, lakini anybody can incite the public. Hey, chochea, chochea. That is how Barabbas secured his release on the day Jesus Christ was put on the cross. The Bible says his main job was causing insurrection and inciting the public against the authorities. Nyo Biblia yuga wakana kanata yuga aeretwe athaiketwe awetwe athaikwa nuntu wa kwingira mwingi kuchochea umma. And 99% of the people calling themselves leaders are in that business. The work of a leader is not to listen to what the people are saying and assist them in saying it. Because if you listen to what they are saying and you assist them in saying it, so what is your role? And number two, many of the things the people say are not correct. But they say it because they do not have the facts that you and I have. They have not come to current, they have not been briefed by the deputy president, so they don't know. So the work of a leader is to guide the community, to guide the people, to tell them this one is okay. Yes, we need these 5 things, but this one, right now it is possible. This other one will require a year or 2. This, that is the work of a leader. If your work is to follow the people, you have no business calling yourself a leader because it is the people leading you. Isn't it? So who is leading the other? Yeah. So I expect you as opinion shapers, as leaders, to lead. And leading means you explain. You help people to see a picture they didn't have. You assist them because God has blessed you, you have some extra information, assist them to see things differently. But if people shout and say, we want this now, and it is not possible, then you go there and carry placards and start saying, yes, 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 we want. You have no business calling yourself a leader. And that's why you see a good leader is not popular all the time. But a good leader is popular at the right time. I repeat, a good transformative leader is not popular all the time. I have told you how Kibaki was very unpopular in 2005, 2 years after he was elected almost unanimously. But by the time President Kibaki was leaving in 2010, 2011, many people in Kenya were saying, I wish Kibaki could get a third term. True or false? Those of us who use this road to central Kenya, that's when the dual carriageway, Thika superhighway, started being built in 2009, 7 years after Kibaki's election. Not in 2003. That's when people saw the superhighway. Yeah, 50 kilometers from Nairobi to Keno. Kibaki did that without speaking Kikuyu and without climbing on trees to explain and publicize his love for the people of Gema. In fact, I was a young man. I served briefly in his government. If you are from central Kenya and where we come from, and you try to speak to President Kibaki in your mother tongue, he will tell you off. He has no time for nonsense. Yet, he transformed Kenya, and he transformed even our rural economy without speaking Kikuyu and without pontificating how he loves the Gema people. True or false? President Uhuru, who also appeared, also came from our region generally, also did wonderful programs. And I've just given the Highway for Kibaki. Kibaki did many things across Kenya. But it doesn't mean if you do across Kenya, you'll not do where you come from. You can do at home and away. Yeah. Musidanganywa ati for you to, you can only succeed if you do things where you come from and ignore everybody else. Because again, you will not have a country. President Uhuru, you know, for me, at the last 2 years of his administration, we had political differences with President Uhuru when he chased me away without giving me a reason. I even asked him to explain, because it's not so much about the job. I was not keen on the job. In fact, that break gave me a bit of time to reorganize my personal issues, which had gone haywire because of my, you know, I'm such a passionate person. I get committed to public service. So some private issues ilikuwa imeharibika. Nilitengeneza wakati Uhuru alinifukuza. Sasa niko sawa. Nilitengeneza zile miaka 2 Uhuru alinifukuza, hapo ndio nilijipanga. Mambo yangu ya nyumbani hapo, unaona fence imeanguka, unarekebisha fence because you are not available. Fence imeanguka when you are serving the public. So President Uhuru, I had problems with him, political problems, the last 2 years after he chased me away without giving me a reason. So I told President Uhuru, it is okay, I am going to leave because I see you have made a decision. But please, tell the people of Tharaka Nithi and their Meru people and the people of Kenya, tell them, what is this big sin that this son of Tharaka Nithi has done? Ndio wajue, nimeiba? Am I corrupt? Have I insubordinated? What have I done? So, hakunijibu, tukakosana kidogo. But to his credit, President Uhuru is the one who started the Dongokundu bypass in Mombasa, which we've just completed. We found it at the tail end as Kenya Kwanza. President Uhuru, for us locally now, okay, because you need examples away and local. For us, the highway Kibaki left in Keno, he took it to Marwa. Isn't it? Isn't it? Sio ni kusonga. Hata sisi, hata kama iendi the way we wanted, iende, but still our journey is shorter today. Mpaka pale Makutano. True or false? Without speaking Kikuyu, without preaching to us every day how he loves Gema. Yeah? So I'm wondering, these other people who say they love us, they have never convened one single county, including the county they come from, to discuss development in your county. Hii upendo ni upendo ya kupeleka wapi? Munisaidie tu kuelewa. Me, I don't understand. What kind of love? And must you speak about it? Just do it. Just do. There's love. Just do it. We will see it. So today, I have called you to tell you that this administration, having laid the foundation, the economic foundation, that would have even taken longer. Okay? Kwa sababu kama bei ya unga 2 kilos ni 250 na inaongezeka by 10 shillings every week, you have to put money in subsidizing production to have enough maize so that if you have enough maize, you don't import anything, the price of maize flour will come down. That is what President Ruto was doing for the last 2 years. That is what has made unga to come from 250 to 120, around there, 110. Wearing sufurias on the head could not have changed. And the people wearing sufurias on the head, they had their time. Some were vice president. Everybody. Even some of the people I saw the other day, I don't know, saying things, they were also in government. They were ministers of water, ministers, I don't know what. So, mimi nilikuwa interior minister Makambili. Nilisukumana na 3 things. And I didn't know I would leave after 2 years. In fact, I thought best case scenario, I'll be there for 5 years. I thought so. Sikujua nitakaa 2 years. But there was a problem in the north, ile banditry. There was a place in Lamu here, the Boni Enclave, where we have many people, including immigrant communities, even from Tharaka Nithi. They are doing agriculture in Lamu there. Terrorists were butchering them every day. So there was terror, there was banditry, na mambo ya passport. And today, now that I'm no longer in interior, if somebody asks me what I did as interior minister, I may not have done 10 things, but I'll quote the 3 things that I achieved. Isn't it? So, kwa sababu wakati wa siasa itafika, wale tutashindana nao, including my brother who was here. He was deputy president for 2 years. 2 years, deputy president. He will tell us also, as deputy president, what he did for all the counties of Kenya, including Tharaka Nithi. Mimi nimesema annually, every year, I will be giving my account. So yeye atasema, wakati alikuwa deputy president, he pushed this road, he pushed this project, he pushed this dam for us. Then hapo tutashindana mambo ya maendeleo. So it's going to be very rough. Watu wasifikirie, it's going to be so rough, my friend. Very rough. It's not going to be easy. You cannot come to inside people at barriers. Mtu amefiwa na loved one, unakuleta vijana hapo kupiga kelele. Sijui kwa wedding. Ama musician ametengeneza event, it's not even your event. Wewe unaundadia hapo, unakuja kuleta kisirani. And that habit is dangerous habit. Our area where I was born, this area, general area central, we are not known for violence. Those behaviors were elsewhere. For the first time, and I'm speaking as the immediate interior minister, I was so downcast to see people burning each other's property in Karatina, in Embu, for the first time. People who know each other. Unajua ile duka ni ya fulani, supermarket ya nani, he has employed 20 children from here, unaenda unachoma. Dangerous politics, driven by poor leadership. And I have not said leaders should not listen. Listen and look for solutions. Not to listen and follow the crowd and incite them into anarchy, violence. Today, Kisumu, Kondele, used to be the most volatile political town and area in Kenya, where people were burning each other's property and you disrupt transport. Today, the headquarters is in Embu. Hapo Embu kuna kijana amekaa hapo, ati ni mjanja sana, ni maarufu sana, hapo anasanya vijana hapo ya kufunga barabara. Your own parents are passing by there going to hospital. Wewe kiongozi aina gani? You can say the same things you want to say, but don't disrupt the economy. Don't shut down the economy. Don't inconvenience innocent people who have nothing to do with politics. So it's not going to be easy. Nimeona kuna watu wanajipiga kifua, sijui vile watasema, sijui vile watafanya. They have no landing ground. It will be so rough. It will be rough. Ala, sasa niulize. Ile siasa nilikuwa nafanya hili kidogo, nilikuwa senator ile. Sikuwa na chochote. Sikuwa na kiti ya serikali. Sikuwa kwa executive. I had to go and beg other people. Oh, nisaidie barabara. Oh, nisaidie. Now I don't have to beg. Yeah. 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 Alafu naniambia we go and start opposing President Ruto hapa. There is only one person who can countermand me in Kenya. Only one. The whole country, by the grace of God, na maombi yenu. Only one person. One. From the executive, judiciary, legislature, 2 levels of government, everywhere, the whole country, God, by His grace and your prayers, only one person can overturn my decision. Sio ni baraka? So we should make use of it to assist our county, to assist Kenya. Yeah. So, wale wanategea ati yani, na sasa governor, my brother, bro, and these other brothers and sisters hapa, tukue serious bro. You know I love you. You know that. As a brother. You know you are a classmate with my elder brother. Na mimi ni mtu ya respect relationships. But we must be serious now. I met with my sister Cess, the governor of Embu, who is also my sister and somebody I love and somebody we've walked a long journey together, politically. Kawambia sasa wacha ni kuongeleshe my sister, not as the deputy president of Kenya. Wacha ni kuongelesha kama ndugu yako and your age mate. And you will do nothing about what I'm going to tell you. Amuliza governor, how is it possible? You're the national chairman of UDA. You are a UDA governor and the national chairman of the ruling party.